it's such a pleasure to do radio from Primavera Sound, because we get to meet, you know, the bands that we've grown up with, that we've been fans of for all our lives. Ira Kaplan from Yo La Tengo, aka Yellow Tango. Did you ever consider like thinking, why don't we call it Yellow Tango?
No, never.
Never. Because, you know, there's a famous story of, if you'd like to relay it for the new listeners, like how a band from Hoboken, New Jersey ends up with a Spanish-sounding name.
Well, the idea mostly was just to have a name that didn't mean anything in English. So, you know, just to go to an extreme of you wouldn't know what the band sounded like based on the name. And we were so unimaginative, we forgot that, other people speak. Just because we don't speak Spanish doesn't mean nobody else does. So it would connote something if you spoke Spanish. But that was the attraction. And then because we don't speak Spanish, the phrase came to us in a kind of convoluted, probably not true baseball story. So
one of those myths. Yeah, it's very funny. You can read it on Wikipedia for those of you interested in that baseball anecdote.
But I will say that we once a very commonly misspelled name, you know, Yellow Tango, Tango instead of Tango. We once played in Australia and got some rental equipment, and all three words were misspelled. So that was like a new record.
La. How did they misspell la?
I think it was Yalo Tango.
Yalo Tango.
Right. Good work.
Oh my God.
So you've been in Barcelona a few days. You did a covers show for Ciutat this week, which sadly we couldn't go to because we were working. But I was looking at the track list, and it looks absolutely amazing. I mean, cover shows. When do you decide to do this? Kind of special occasions, right? Or
well, we got asked to do this, you know, sideshow or special show at the Apollo, and we were just trying to come up. I don't remember if they had any ideas of what but you know, the idea was to do something different, not just do another set of our songs, or at least that was our idea. And so it occurred to us to do all covers. I mean, we love playing them, and obviously, when you're doing a festival set, like when we were at the Apollo last year, we mix in a couple covers, like in the encore or something. You know, tonight it'll just be all our genius.
Well, it's great because
original songs.
Because usually in club shows like the one in Apollo, that was like almost like a 3-hour show, right? Or I remember seeing you for almost 3 hours in Madrid many moons ago.
Probably not that. It only felt like 3 hours.
Okay. No, but not in a long stint. But it was like, damn, we've been here.
It's long.
We got like our money's worth, if you know what I mean.
And you did a cover. Again, I was reading this. You covered Sunday Morning, and that was apparently dedicated to a previous Barcelona show 35 years ago.
Oh, I saw that. I think what we dedicated it to our pal Ignacio from Ruta 66, and the first time we played in Barcelona was in 1989, a show he set up, and so yes, that was, I guess it was dedicated to a 35-year-old show.
And speaking of dedications to someone who was very dear to our hearts here at Primavera Sound, and we're honoring with his own stage, Steve Albini, you dedicated a song by Cheap Trick titled "He's a Whore." Why that song?
Big Black covered it. It occurred to me that might have been misinterpreted by people who don't have the entire Steve Albini discography memorized. But there was a 45 that they did of Cheap Trick's "He's a Whore" and a Kraftwerk song. I think Man Machine, but a Kraftwerk song, and it's a beautiful 45 because Big Black gets dressed up as Kraftwerk on one side and as Cheap Trick on the other. So we covered their cover.
I'm talking of covers. You didn't play it this week, but one of my favourite of your covers is "Nuclear War," which Sun Ra song. Not a band many people would choose to cover because they're not
easy.
I mean, like, are there any songs you just think are uncoverable, or is it like, now we'll give it a go?
I mean, not exactly. I mean, there's songs the songs we cover are songs we think we can play with some kind of personality. I mean, I think there are songs that we have not, we don't necessarily play those weren't like our 12 favorite songs Tuesday night. They were just, I mean, the Sun Ra, that doing Nuclear War kind of had a gestation in that we had written a couple of instrumentals that were, I thought that was a bird.
Yeah, me too.
But we were under attack.
I thought it was someone coming down.
Nope.
We had written a couple of instrumentals that were clearly Sun Ra ripoffs, and so we were. And then we had the idea of seeing if we could find some real jazz musicians to play them with us, and like we had asked a friend of ours who was more connected to that world if he could recommend some people who wouldn't care that we don't really know how to play. That our spirit is good, even if our chops are not. And so we met the people from the Great New York improvisational band, Other Dimensions in Music. And so we were just kind of sneaking up on trying to do stuff like that. And then we had, you might know that we do these Hanukkah shows.
Yeah.
And we were doing it for the first time. We had committed early in 2001 to do Hanukkah shows, and then September came, and New York, everything changed, and we were just trying to figure out, how does one play a concert in December 2001? Like, what do you do? And somebody in the band, I don't remember who anymore, thought of, we could cover Nuclear War, and that would kind of seem like, appropriate and funny and scary, and it just was so resonant within the band that we just kept playing it.
Yeah.
I hope this doesn't sound weird, but like after your gig in Barcelona, Johan and I were talking in the office about what your life must be like, because
it's a little weird.
A little weird, yeah, but it's Tuesday night. Because the idea of being in a band for 40 years, and I think what we were thinking about is what must it be like to kind of dedicate yourself to that band and art? And we were thinking, you must have like the greatest record collection, because you can, I think we were also feeling the effect of being fathers, and it was like, I could have gone to that gig, but
yeah,
and so
what is it like? How does the band function 40 years after? Like, what's the day-to-day operation of Yo La Tengo?
Well, it changes. George and I kind of manage the band as well. So there's especially Georgia, there's a lot of business and a lot of stuff she'd rather not be doing, but we're too we won't let anyone else make a decision for us. So but we get together and play all the time, and when we get to see James, it's not every day, but it's very social. And James has a son, so we get to hear all the news about his family, and I mean we're very fortunate. It's our life, and it we get to enjoy it, and we get to be kind of prisoners to it sometimes. It's the full range of emotions, but it's it is really a privilege to have this long history, and to kind of be reminiscing about when we met Daniel Carter and Sabir Mateen and Roy Campbell Jr. from Other Dimensions in Music, which is now over 20 years ago, and it still feels fresh.
And what's amazing is, you've been doing this for so long, but you're also music fans, and you're aware of bands' legacies and when bands have their creative peaks, their imperial phases, this kind of stuff. But Yo La Tengo has managed for 40 years to have this constant, incredible quality of output. Do you kind of appreciate your own legacy? Like, do you realize that you have like a kind of like a formula for creating perfect Yo La Tengo records?
Absolutely not. We are proud of our history. I don't think any of us feel like we have a formula for anything, but we're lucky. We really love each other's company. We love playing music together, and we're also, I mean, we're successful enough that we can come here and play, but we're not so successful that we're imprisoned by, irate fans if we don't play a certain song on one night, or that, you can't walk down the street. I mean, it's just great. I don't know. I recommend it.
Yeah.
All right, Johan,
It sounds so easy. Let's just do it for 40 years. And
yeah, when we get to album 17, we'll let you know. But look, we could speak to you for ages, but you've got to go and eat, and lunch is important. So
yeah, it's very important.
what's okay? You told us that you have a lunch with your dear friend Ignacio. Shout out. We love that guy. What's been over the years? Is there a place in Barcelona that sticks out for you that you always want to come back to? It's like, oh, I want to go and have the bravas at that place, or the croqueta, or.
Well, I mean, there's we just this week we made it back to Calpep for the first time in a few years, and it was exciting to see. Wow, it's still great. It was still a great experience to go there. And then we recently, we just made a reservation to go to Burbina, and then it turned out that they were fans of ours. So that was like, wow. So we went there a couple of years ago, and then the whole group, the advantage of having 2 days in between shows, so the whole group was able to go to Burbina and have this amazing meal. So those are two favorites.
Well, it's been such a pleasure having you here, Ira. It's a privilege for us, and you're obviously part of the Primavera Sound family. You're very important to us, and we look forward to tonight's gig and gigs for the following years. That whenever you want to come. We have many stages for you to play, and I think you should actually demand that. It's like, we only play Primavera if you get us twice. Once to do City and another one, so we can have a few days in between to discover the new bars.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, you can ask for that. Trust me. Thank you, Ira
Thank
Kaplan.
you so much.
Yo La Tengo.